We're going live on Connect for Climate's Facebook page. This is the All for the Green Week in Bologna in support of the G7 Environment Ministers meeting. Please join us with the hashtag SDG Live as well as the hashtag All for the Green. And keep on following this fascinating discussion on environmental issues and climate change. So I've got the great honor to be here today with Andrea Braccialarghe. Thank you for being with us. And Andrea is the Managing Director for North America of Building Energy. Now, Building Energy is a very inspiring renewable energy company that has roots in Italy, but has spread itself around the world. And you've got some fascinating projects on the go. And one of them is actually right outside of this venue, where you put up a solar field to power the film projections that are happening every night this week. This is Europe's biggest outdoor screen, and you managed to provide the solar energy to make it run. Thank you so very much for doing that. Could you just tell me a little bit why you thought this was a very interesting week to get involved in, and what the technology is out there that's actually powering the projection?
Sure, and first of all, thank you, Max, for this kind introduction. It's an honor to be here. It's an honor to be here with the Connect for Climate that we have the privilege to partner with. So why Building Energy is in Bologna this week, and why it's important for Building Energy to be here? So first of all, this event, the G7 environment, is one of the most important events that is happening right now, especially right now where the environmental issues are everywhere, are on the social, or I joined recently on Facebook, and I saw how many people are involved in environmental issues. We had this phenomenal discussion right now with the United Nations about also during the ocean conferences. So we are talking about several things that touch our life every day. So being here and solarize events means have an important example on how we can change our daily activities. So we have an event here in Bologna. We have the largest screen where we play all the important message that we want to drive down to the people and to the people attending these events. And it's important to reduce the CO2 footprint, how we do that. And so we thought that a solar plant was the best way to reduce our global footprint and launch a clear message that we can do that. We can do that for every single event. We can do that during the concert, during this kind of conferences, and so on and so forth. So the solar plant is what we also did 2 years ago in Washington. So essentially is an interesting technology because different from the solar plant that you see on the field, this one is very, very easy to mount overnight or dismantle overnight. It's scalable, so this is an important thing. It means that you can start from a 3 kilowatt solutions like the one we have here outside, and you can scale and go up and up for whatever capacity or power you need for this kind of event. And it's also easy to deploy and easy to transport because all these things can be fitted in a container, and you can transport everywhere. As an example, the one that we installed 2 years ago during the Earth Day in Washington has been, after the event, was dismantled overnight, put in a container, and shipped to Saudi Arabia. So now is powering a facility in Saudi Arabia. So it's phenomenal.
Fantastic. No, absolutely. And that was really a great partnership we had 2 years ago for the Earth Day Global Citizen Concert, where you actually put up the first solar field on the National Mall in Washington, D.C. So the difference here is that it's a slightly smaller unit, right? So you mentioned 3 kilowatts. How did you come up with the right capacity? How did you know how many solar panels you need to put out there to ensure that there's enough power for the film screenings?
Yeah, so essentially there is, of course, we have our engineering group. Those guys are amazing. The design and the study they do for every single application is what really make the difference for us. So the design here has been, of course, you have a lot of constraint. So one thing is if you want to design and build the solar plants in the middle of nowhere, so you can go and install as much solar panel as you can or as you want. Here we are in Piazza Maggiore. So Piazza Maggiore is probably the landmark in Bologna. So you have a lot of constraint because you have this amazing building surrounding the solar plants. You need to, and amazing buildings are good for pictures and visit, but of course they represent a concern for solar plants because you have a lot of shadows during the days, because of course the solar panel works as long as you have sun. And also you have to get all the necessary permits to install a solar plant in the piazza. So you have also this kind of issues. So putting together all the constraints, all the issues, make you and all the assumptions comes with the right power, as well as of course the consumption of the video screen. So what you are going to project for how long, and this is what we ended up with the proper design of the solar plants.
Fantastic. So maybe you could also tell us a little bit more about your international projects. So you're representing North America. I know you've got some very interesting solar projects there, but also wind projects. And maybe just also explain, why are you so focused on renewables as opposed to any other energy source?
Sure, and thanks for the question. You asked to the right person, as I have, in my past, I have an oil and gas career before I move to what I consider my redemption. And I joined solar first back in 2007, and then I moved to building energy to continue my redemption path to the renewable energy, spread out in different technologies: hydro, biomass, solar, and wind. I'm very excited about what building energy is doing right now. I represent North America, of course, and what we are doing in North America, where we have a quite wealthy pipeline of project under development. When I say under development, I mean the building energy is involved in all the value chain. So from the origination, meaning scouting the perfect land where also the people are very in favor of having renewable energy there, because renewable energy is something that stands forever. So you can imagine that a solar plant or a wind farm or hydro power plants can stay there for decades. So it's important that people are very in favor of having renewable energy in their lands. So we are developing, actually now we have, this morning I went through the numbers, and globally building energy is developing more than 3 gigawatts of renewable energy projects. Renewable energy project means project all across the 4 technology: hydro, biomass, wind, and solar plants. In North America, recently we commissioned a 30 megawatt wind farm. 30 megawatt wind farms means that we are powering thousands of homes in Iowa, but also means that we are, and the people locally are benefiting to have wind farms there, because of course we pay taxes there simply, and taxes that we pay there can be reinvested from the municipality to upgrade their schools or roads or bridges. So in a way, renewable energy is also helping the local community to continue their core business. Or for example, we are providing a different revenue stream for the landlord. And landlord in Iowa, 90% of landlords in Iowa are fully focused in agriculture's activities. So the rent that we pay for them for the next 2-3 decades are going to be reinvested by the landlord in their core business, that is agriculture. So there is an enormous benefit to having renewable energy and local community work together in trying to implement as much as possible those kind of solution. Elsewhere, building energy is working in the same way. So we are developing thousands of megawatt of project in Africa, especially sub-Saharan Africa. While we speak, we are almost finished the construction of a 10 megawatt of solar plants in Uganda, for example, that is going to sell energy to the local community, to the local grid. We have in operation since 2014 one of the largest in terms of production solar plants in the world, that is in Northern Cape, South Africa, your motherland. And we are very proud of that solar power plant because it's totally fit in the local community. We have not only by words, but there is a development agreement that we signed with the South African government in 2012 that essentially pledged the company Building Energy in doing a lot of activity. So hiring local people, reinvesting part of the revenue generated by the plants. So there is an important pledge of the company in trying to boost the economy down there. And also we have other projects under development in Eastern Europe and in Far East Asia. So all these things make Building Energy very, very proud in what we are doing, that is trying to change the world is powering.
No, absolutely. That's great. I would like to actually get into the South African case. Obviously, I am South African as well as German, but in this case, definitely very South African. So could you maybe just explain what created that market opportunity? I worked a little bit in policy advice for South Africa in the past, so there's been a shift in the policies that created a very interesting market for independent power producers such as yourself to get into the game and actually be part of the new energy generation system of South Africa.
Sure. South Africa is an interesting example of a country that developed the right policy framework to reshuffle the power generation in the country, creating jobs, local jobs, attracting investment from outside, from private companies, and above all, try to minimize the subsidy to do so. So when South Africa launched the renewable energy independent power producer program, back in 2011, I think was July or August 2011, they made it very clear after several years of study and studies of different kinds of policy framework around the world. At that time, 6 years ago, we were experiencing different kind of policies in different kind of countries. There was tax credit, there was cash grant, there were feed-in tariff, especially in Italy, where I came from. And South Africa changed totally this paradigm, and they moved to an auction system based on different bid programs divided in different years. So they start with what they call the round one, where they put some capacity available for this bid, and through this reverse auction system, they start to get renewable energy coming in and fitting their power grid. They started in 2011, and now I think they close 4 rounds of bids, and now we are talking in South Africa with multi-gigawatt of solar, hydro, wind, biomass project that has been awarded from private energy company. Billions of dollars of new investment in renewable energy flow down to South Africa, creating hundreds of thousands of jobs, green jobs. So I have to say that I'm very proud that Building Energy joined this program at the very beginning, and we are still there. We have an office in Cape Town that is giving jobs to South African people, and also we have a lot of people working for our solar plants down there. So I'm very proud that we are there and that South Africa made this important step in 2011.
Absolutely, and it's really that policy shift that created the opportunity. So the reverse auction system, which is basically based on a competitive bidding process, has really opened up the market and has facilitated all this private sector investment, as well as brought down the costs of the successive rounds of bidding of all the different technologies, from solar to wind to hydro, to the extent that now, I was recently there, that now all new solar and wind is cheaper than new coal, which is quite revolutionary, and it's really the headline coming out of South Africa.
Absolutely. I think that was the principal mission. First of all, was to create a program to attract investment and boost the credibility of the country. So when as a private company, the first things that we do is study the country, the stability, because you are investing millions of dollars in a country, so you want that your investment is protected for your shareholders and for all the stakeholders. And the nice thing that South Africa first was focused on trying to be at the highs of all these private companies busy in renewable energy developments, to say, come to our country, you can invest, and the country is very stable. The program has been very well designed, so you can come here. So the country risk can be mitigated if you come to South Africa. And so that was the first bid. Once the first bid was out and the first hundreds of megawatts were awarded, all the private sector understood that there was the perfect country to invest in renewable energy. And then bid round after bid rounds, the price of energy go down, that's normal in the market when you have a wealthy competition. And now we can say at round 3, round 4, the price of the power purchase agreement, that is essentially the main agreement that you sign with the state utility Eskom, can be competitive against any other source of power. And the nice thing is, when you are competing against coal or again natural gas or any other form of energy, the nice thing that solar, wind, biomass, hydro, you can deploy very quickly. So if you can imagine that hundreds of megawatts of solar can be built in probably 6 months, while an equivalent power plant need years of development, and because of course there are many things to be considered when you start this kind of developments. So that's why we think that the revolution, the renewable energy revolution, has been there since a while, and we can continue to develop as much as possible, because, as we say in the US, the train left the station. So whatever the policy framework are doing right now, change a little bit the framework and the game, but the people want renewable energy. Renewable energy is competitive against any other source of energy. The subsidies are already in a phase-out condition. So, and also in the US, and probably in 3 years, most of the tax credit will be phasing out. So there is no reason why stopping the renewable energy revolution now.
And there you said it. I mean, it really is a revolution where we are shifting away from fossil fuels onto a renewable energy trajectory. And those are the kind of investments and transformative policies that you highlighted in South Africa as well as in the US, and the broader benefits that renewable energy can deliver to the community through also through the investments and the general upliftment of an economy where renewable energy is taking a hold. Those are the kind of examples that will help us transition to that low-carbon, resilient future that we really need to build in line with the Paris Climate Change Agreement, in line with the Sustainable Development Goals. And with that, I'd really like to thank you very much for your time and for being a part of All for the Green.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Max,
you very much. And keep on engaging with us with hashtag All for the Green as well as hashtag SDG Live. We're live from the Sustainable Development Goals Media Zone here at All for the Green Week in Bologna. Thank you very much.
Thank you.